Adam Emery was born on the 10th of November 1962. On the 31st of August 1990, Adam Emery's Ford Thunderbird vehicle was side-swiped by another vehicle that was driving past it, leaving a colored paint from the other car on Adam's vehicle. During this incident, Adam and his wife, Elena, had been at a restaurant with their two friends. Seeing what happened to his car, Adam became enraged, got into his vehicle and accidentally chased down the wrong car, finally catching up with the wrong car, which had two people in it. He then stabbed the driver of that car to death. The victim was 20-year-old Jason Bass. Adam was in jail for 8 months while he waited to go to trial. In exchange for lesser charges of voluntary manslaughter, a charge which would have seen him sentenced anywhere between 5 to 7 years, he was offered a plea deal for this. But Adam refused to take this plea deal because he was adamant that he only killed Jason Bass in self-defense. Detectives analyzed paint chips from both vehicles and were able to conclude that Jason Bass's vehicle was not the same vehicle that had side-swiped Adam Emery's on the day of the incident, and that it had to have been someone else. On the 10th of November 1993, Adam Emery was found guilty of second-degree murder and faced up to 25 years in prison. Before he received his prison sentence, Adam was released on bail. In the hours after being released on bail, Adam and his wife Elena went to eat at Burger King and had purchased wearable exercise weights from a sports store in Rhode Island. Later on, their car was found abandoned at the Claiborne-Pell Newport Bridge, and they had posted out suicide notes. They had both disappeared within hours of Adam Emery being released on bail. Through DNA analysis, in 1994, investigators were able to identify a skull that had been found in the bay under Newport Bridge as belonging to Elena, the wife of Adam. Adam Emery was declared legally dead in 2004, although there have been a number of sightings of him. He was sighted in Connecticut 1 month after he had vanished, then later he was spotted in Florida, and the latest sightings have been reported in Italy. The FBI believe there's a strong possibility he is in Italy due to him having family in Italy, and the FBI have said they may be close to finding Adam Emery within the next 5 years. He was added to the FBI's most wanted list in 2010. Alejandro Castillo was born on the 26th of November 1998 in Arizona. In 2016, at the age of 17, he was working at a restaurant with 23-year-old Truck Juan Lila. They had both dated at some point, and Truck had let Alejandro borrow some money from her, which he had never paid back. He later started dating their other coworker, Amia Feaster. On the 9th of August, Truck had received a message from Alejandro that he wanted to pay her back the money he owed her, so they both planned on meeting at a quick trip store that was located in Eastway Drive, Charlotte. Castillo was then picked up by Amia Feaster, and they drove to meet Truck. It is believed that Castillo forced Truck to withdraw $1,000 from her bank account, which, according to Truck's uncle, her bank statement showed that $1,000 had been withdrawn and her bank account was left empty. It is then believed that Truck was driven to a wooded area in Cabarrus County by Alejandro, who shot her in the head. Castillo and Amia Feaster both then fleeing in Truck's black four-door 2003 Toyota Corolla, driving from North Carolina to Phoenix, Arizona, abandoning Truck's car at a bus shelter, later being found there abandoned on the 15th of August. Amia and Alejandro made their way to Nogales, Arizona, and crossed the border into Mexico, and Castillo was pictured by surveillance crossing into Mexico. He has not been seen since then, and investigators think he is still in Mexico. Truck was reported missing 1 day after she had been murdered, and Alejandro and Amia were reported missing on the 11th and 12th of August. They had called their families to tell them they were safe. Truck's body was located in a wooded area in Cabarrus County, and in November of 2016 Alejandro was charged with first-degree murder. Amia Feaster turned herself into law enforcement in Mexico, then she was extradited to the U.S., then arrested near Houston, Texas. She was charged with accessory after the fact of felony murder and larceny of a motor vehicle. She was able to post bail and be released by the 18th of January, 2017. Anya alleges that both she and Alejandro had stayed with his cousin in Mexico, and in that time, Alejandro vanished one day and she never saw him since then. Alejandro Castillo was added to the FBI then Most Wanted Fugitives list in October of 2017. Eugene Palmer was born on the 14th of April, 1939 in New York. His son, John Palmer, had been married to Tammy Palmer, living together with their 2 children in a property that was owned by Eugene. Eugene also lived next door to his son and daughter-in-law Tammy. After a while, Tammy filed for a restraining order against John Palmer and said she wanted to get divorced from him, and it's alleged that Tammy threatened to sue them for the land that belonged to Eugene. This angered Eugene, which escalated into a massive feud between them both. Tammy walked her kids to their school bus on the 24th of September, 2012, but unknown to her, Eugene is believed to have been hiding in the woods. Tammy started her walk back home when it's alleged that Eugene started firing a shotgun at her, shooting her in the arm and then in the chest, killing her. Eugene fled the scene in a green Dodge Ram pickup. His pickup was later found abandoned outside Harriman State Park in Rockland County. Investigators believe he went into the park after leaving his vehicle. Search dogs were able to trace his scent to a campground within the woods. But Eugene Palmer has never been located. A federal arrest warrant was issued on the 10th of June 2013. Family have stated their belief that he passed away in the park. He was added to the FBI 10 Most Wanted Fugitives list on the 29th of May, 2019, but was eventually moved from their list on the 20th of July 2022.